This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
The Morning Drive on Double T 97.3. It's randomly delicious.
6:32 this morning here on the Morning Drive. That was new, Jamie. Getting a little randomly delicious in there. That was fun.
Good.
I enjoyed it. I think that we are randomly delicious.
Not consistently. That would be silly.
No, just random. You just never know what you're going to get.
You don't know. I mean, and it's like opening up presents that you don't know what's in there, and it's like, turning on your favorite music station, trying to figure out which song's going to be next or could be next. It's randomly delicious what you get here each and every morning on the Morning Drive. Some days are more randomly delicious than others. I don't know about today or tomorrow, but we'll do our best. You can only be as good as the day you're in. All right, Jamie, the World Baseball Classic came to an end last night. Venezuela gets the title. They win it 3-2. Team USA on a Bryce Harper 2-run home run with 2 out, tied up the game in the 8th. And then, man, you just can't do this. And I don't have to tell you this, but a leadoff walk in the top of the 9th inning, and it came back to bite you in the old keister because they put in a pinch runner. That guy stole second, and then you had a double, and bada bing, bada boom, and it's 3-2. And the United States in the bottom of the 9th inning had 2 guys strike out swinging, and a guy popped out to third in the middle, and they went quietly, and Venezuela gets the win 3-2.
Not ideal, those pesky leadoff walks. Just are never a lot of fun.
And then you get stolen base after that, and the Team USA challenged a couple of plays. They challenged a play at second base, the stolen base. I mean, I get why they had to do it. They had to do it just to see if for some way that the guy's spikes came off the bag. But I mean, you could tell on the live play of it, going down and throwing the ball down to second, that the guy was safe. So that was too bad. And then there was a play at third. There was like a weird. I think it was like a fly out to center. I think it was fly out to center field. I think, and there was a question whether the guy had tagged up on third base to go back to second. And this is before the double that scored the run, and he did. I mean, he accidentally did. His shoe barely grazed the side of the bag, and they challenged that too. But I mean, his foot touched the bag, but boy, it was really close, really, really close. But he touched the bag, but it wasn't like it was one of those deals where it was kind of an excuse me touch as opposed to, hey, I'm touching this and tagging up because I know that I've got to tag up. There was some initial thought that he didn't know how many outs there were when there was just 1 out. But anyway, so are you surprised that Venezuela won, Jamie?
Yeah, I would have expected the Americans to win. But, I mean, ultimately, we thought it would be a good game and a close game and all that good stuff. They've got good players, too, so not shocked by the outcome. I think if they played, a 7-game series, I think I'd still favor the Americans, but it was a 1-game series, so it's the way they...
Yeah, and that's probably the way that it should probably the way that it should be. I mean, the United States only had 3 hits, and one of them was the 2-run home run by Bryce Harper in the 8th. And so pitching was, boy, for all the talk that you get in spring training, are the pitchers ahead of the hitters or are the hitters ahead of the pitchers? This was one of those games last night where Clearly, the pitching was at a high performance.
I love how you do the voice for that,
Uh-huh.
fully well knowing that you're one of the people that asked that question.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You feel like I'm mocking people that ask that question, even though that I'm one of those guys that asked that question?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. No, you're not wrong on that. You're not wrong on that. Big Huey says, "Oh, that was after the Suarez hit for the go-ahead double." Okay, thank you, Big Huey. I had a lot going on there. I was watching this, watching that, monitoring Jamie, the whole thing. So I wasn't taking copious notes.
You're not monitoring me. It's the baseball team. It's not me.
Yeah.
It's the baseball game.
Yeah, you can't fire Jamie from Red Raider Baseball.
No,
There's no
I'm not
reason to
trying to-
monitor Jamie.
I'm not trying to fire Jamie. I'm just following along.
If you are monitoring me at any point in your life, please stop. Okay, stop being a stalker.
I mean, the big thing I took away from last night's Team USA loss.
I'm gonna get a restraining order from you if you keep doing that.
The big thing that I took away from Team USA's loss, you had one offensive player touch second base.
Yeah. Bryce Harper.
And that was on a home run.
Yeah.
You had one guy touch second base. Mm-hmm. That makes it really hard to win a baseball game.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't the score 3-2?
Yeah, 3-2 in favor of Venezuela. The Americans.
So how did you have one guy touch second base?
He's talking about for Team USA.
No, Jamie, there's still two people who had touch. You had two players touch second base.
I mean, last I knew,
There's a runner on.
if a guy
You had
scores
two.
first on a home run, he still has to touch second.
You had two players touch second. Really hard to score if you can't get runners to second base.
Yeah. I understood what you're saying, but Jamie was
No, he's
correct.
right.
Yeah,
he's right.
He was correct. Yeah, he was correct. But I understood what you're saying because you had basically one hit with runners in scoring position, and that was the Bryce Harper home run. So anyway, it was just it was unfortunate. But boy, those Venezuelans, man, they were excited. And man,
As they should be.
Yes, absolutely.
And that was an electric ballpark last night. I realize a lot of these games have been, but it was like a World Series game last night, and they treated it like that. It was fun to watch. It was fun to see. So it was good on them. And now they go back to spring training and get ready for the season, and there'll be guys with smiles on their faces and guys that were a little bummed out, especially the Team USA guys.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Sometimes some of our greatest achievements were built because of tragedy. Kind of how that works sometimes. 1953.
Okay.
15th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship took place. Indiana beats Kansas 69-68. Jayhawk center B.H. Bourne is named Tournament Most Outstanding Player. 1990, the 32-day lockout by baseball owners ends. So nice of them.
1980?
90.
90. Okay.
9-0.
Well, there were a lot of times they had these problems.
It's like the owners and players don't like each other for some reason. Who knew?
It's kind of like owners and businesses and employees. Right?
1995, Michael Jordan announces he's ending his 17-month NBA retirement. Suspension.
You buying the suspension angle, Jamie, on that?
I think it was a threat to him. Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I do buy some of that.
2004, freshman Jarius Jackson scores 7 points in a 14-0 run as Texas Tech beats Charlotte 76-73 in the NCAA Tournament opener.
Nice.
And in 2019, 40-year-old Dallas Maverick forward Dirk Nowitzki overtakes Wilt Chamberlain to go to 6th all-time with 31,424 points on the NBA scorers list. Mavericks suffer a 129-125 overtime loss to the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay.
I'm trying to. How did I do that?
I know he had an odd look on his face.
It's National Agriculture Day.
Okay.
And I don't know why it's not a specific agriculture day. So thank a farmer, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
Probably always good. Probably always good.
Should do that anyway.
Yeah, probably should. Always good to thank a farmer, right?
Don't just do it once a year. Do it more than that.
Farmer's your friend, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why didn't I? Happy birthday to Adam Levine, who's 47. Queen Latifah, 56. Vanessa Williams is 63. Travis Frederick, 35. And Brian Greasy is 51.
Wow.
And on this day in 1937, the Consolidated Schools of New London, Texas, sat in the middle of a large oil and natural gas field. The area was dominated by 10,000 oil derricks, 11 of which stood right on school grounds. The school was newly built in the 1930s for close to $1 million, and from its inception, bought natural gas from the Union Gas to supply its energy needs. Officials at Consolidated Schools were eventually persuaded to save money by tapping into the wet gas lines operated by Parade Oil Company that ran near the school. Wet gas is a type of waste gas that is less stable and has more impurities than typical natural gas. At the time, it was not completely uncommon for customers living near oil fields to use such gas. At 3:05 p.m., a Thursday afternoon, 694 students and 40 teachers in attendance were looking forward to the final bell, which was to ring in about 10 minutes. Instead, a huge and powerful explosion, which literally blew the roof off the building, leveled the school. The blast, which came without warning because natural gas had no smell back then, was felt by people 40 miles away and killed most victims instantly. The exact cause of the spark, unknown, but it is now known that gas can be ignited by static electricity. As a result of this incident, a new state law mandating the usage of odorants in natural gas so it can be detected went into place, and that the wet gas needs to be burned off on the site of the natural gas plants. 694 people. That is this day in sports history.
That is an incredibly sad story. Just incredibly sad story. Tragic. 6:50 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that of the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline, it's open. 806-771-0973. We'll have hoops for you tonight. They'll take place at 5:30 for the first four. We'll have both the games. We'll also have Red Raider baseball with Tim Tadlock tonight from 6 until 7 p.m. Boy, the Red Raiders really embraced the green last night, didn't they, Jamie? The green hats, and I think you said green belts and green socks and, green bat wraps and all kinds of green all over the place, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah, and they seem to enjoy it, but unfortunately, it didn't go very well. Do you think Coach Tadlock will say, next time we play on St. Patrick's Day, we ain't doing any green stuff because it's not worked out that well for us?
I think we've lost on St. Patrick's Day before. We keep doing it, so I would guess no is the answer to that.
Okay.
Yep.
Why are you looking at me like that, Jeff?
It's a good-looking hat.
No, I know it is.
It's a outfit.
I know, but I mean, I just, sometimes baseball guys are superstitious, and if things.
That's fair. Chuck's right on that.
If things don't go well,
I don't think they're going to stop doing it.
They put them in they kibosh it, moving forward.
Yeah, okay. I don't think that'll be the case here.
Okay, well, I hope not. Jamie, when I asked you about Michael Jordan, thinking that what are you thinking? Suspension? And you're like, yeah, you could buy into that. I was like, wow, I was kind of surprised because, and I think you've kind of said similar things before, but usually you're not a conspiracy guy. So, if I'd have said that, people are like, oh, there goes Chuck again on his old conspiracy theory thing.
Yeah, but like you said, you've heard me say that before. That I think there was some of that going on. So why are you surprised?
Nothing. I'm just.
Do you think I changed my mind?
No. I mean, I guess we're no. No, it's more about. I was just thinking, wow, people would really like. Oh yeah, that old JB. He's pretty smart about that, But yet, maybe I throw out too many conspiracy theories because you really don't. You're not really a conspiracy theorist guy. And
I just think in this situation, I think that there was going to be an investigation into Jordan's gambling, and I think he was told that, and I think he was told there could be a suspension coming, and I think MJ said, "No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to retire.
I'll retire," and then
and so that's. I mean, we all kind of have gotten to learn the enormous ego that is Michael Jordan, and there's somewhat reason for it when it comes to his work on the basketball court.
No question.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think MJ was like, basically, how dare you? You're not going to investigate me.
You're not going to take a look.
Let's see if this league can survive without me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. Well, and and nobody's bigger than the show, so to speak. But
well, I'll tell you the show was a lot better when he was playing.
Oh yeah, no question. And you know what? I mean, and when you play like he did, and you command things like he did, I mean, having an ego like he did, I mean, he backed it up most of the time. So it's hard to say, well, he had too big of an ego, but he backed it up.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. It's great to have you with us today. We're on the eve of the real tournament getting underway for the basketball tournament for both the men and the women. Texas Tech men will play on Friday morning as they take on the Akron Zips. We'll have it for you at 10:30. Play-by-play at 11:40, okay, from Tampa. And then the women will take on Villanova Friday night down in Baton Rouge. We'll have it at 7, play-by-play at 7:30. That'll be on 93.7 The Eagle. And, of course, Tech Hoops here on Double T 97.3. And we'll have continuing coverage of the NCAA basketball tournament on 100.7 The Score today, tomorrow, Friday, Red Raider game. All this. If you're looking for a game and looking for a basketball game over the next few days, generally speaking, it's going to be on 100.7 The Score. So, Jamie, I looked this up this morning, and this trending info is courtesy of On3. But as folks are doing their brackets and playing along and having some fun, here's some little trends to kind of keep in mind when you're doing your brackets. The first four. We had 2 games last night. We got 2 today. One of those teams in the first 4 has reached the second round in 12 of the last 14 tournaments, 5 getting to the Sweet 16. Okay? In 6 of the last 7 at-large games with 14 or more losses, 6 of the last 7 at-large teams with 14 or more losses have won first-round games. So right now, Texas is one of those teams. So they played North Carolina State last night, and they won. SMU, meanwhile, faces Miami of Ohio tonight, and we'll have that game on 100.7 The Score. History also says that a 4 seed will fall. In 15 of the last 17 tournaments, at least one 4 seed has been knocked out of the opening round. There have never been back-to-back tournaments where every 4 seed survived. So the 4 seeds this year are Kansas versus the 13 seed Cal Baptist, number 4 seed Nebraska versus the 13 seed Troy. The Cornhuskers, by the way, have never won an NCAA tournament game, so their next one will be their first. Number 4 seed Arkansas versus number 13 Hawaii, and number 4 Alabama versus number 13 Hofstra. Which one do you think? Is susceptible to being knocked out?
Let's go with Hofstra over Alabama, since that's the potential next opponent for the Red Raiders.
Okay.
And that's a team that's obviously dealing, A, with missing one of their star players, and B, with a whole bunch of distractions that come with that.
Okay. All right. I could see that. I guess I could also see. It feels like that. John Calipari teams historically, it's been feast or famine. You could say the same thing to some degree with Bill Self and Kansas over the years. And maybe for both those guys, it's because they've been in the tournament so many times that it's easy to say, well, feast or famine. But Calipari's teams have generally speaking not lived up to the bill. In 3 of the last 5 tournaments, a number 15 seed has won a first-round game and gone on to reach the Sweet 16. That's Princeton, St. Peter's, and Oral Roberts. All right? So your 15 seeds this year, the number 2 team in the East seed, UConn, takes on Furman. Highly unlikely. The number 2 seed, Houston, will play the number 15, Idaho. That'll be in the South region. And also in the Midwest, it's number 2 seed Iowa State against the 15 seed Tennessee State. And then in the West, it's Queens of North Carolina at a 15 seed taking on number 2 Purdue. Do you think all the 15 seeds win this year?
Yes.
Okay. Only 2 go ahead.
All the 15 seeds lose this year.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All the 2 seeds will win. Only 2 14 seeds have won first-round games in the last 8 NCAA tournaments, but at least one 13 seed has won a first-round game in 28 of 40 tournaments. Okay? So your 13 seeds, that's the Cal Baptist Kansas matchup, and then what we were talking about in that 4 seed versus 13 seed. So we went through that: Arkansas, Hawaii, and then the Alabama, Hofstra, and Nebraska and Troy. A number 12 seed has won a first-round game in 34 of 40 tournaments, and this is where the Red Raiders are. They play a 12 seed. So the 5-12s, Jamie, that's always a kind of a dicey one. You have St. John's and Northern Iowa. Okay, Northern Iowa is a team that has had some history in winning a game in the first round of the NCAA tournament and knocking off somebody. Also, that was Kansas that they knocked off a number of years ago. Also, a 5-12 is, like I said, Texas Tech and Akron. You don't see that happening, do you?
Oh, I think it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Vanderbilt and McNeese is a 5-12. In the NCAA tournament, and then Wisconsin and High Point. High Point is 30-4. Wisconsin 24-10. That I'll bet you the High Point. I'll bet you the High Point Wisconsin game and the Akron Tech game will be where people pick a 12 over a 5.
Just possibly so.
Just around the country. Okay.
I would think a lot of people are going to pick Akron over the Red Raiders.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The last West Coast program to win the national championship, do you know who it was, Jamie? You want to take a guess?
I do not know.
Arizona in 1997. I did not know that. I mean, I'm aware that they won a national championship. I'm not aware that they were the last West Coast team. And then how about this? And then this involves us, Texas Tech. 21 of the last 23 champions, the exceptions were UConn in 2014 and Baylor in 2021, entered the tournament ranked in the top 40 in both offense and defensive efficiency. Teams that fit that criteria this year, okay, and again, 21 of the last 23. Here's the teams in the top 40 in both offensive and defensive efficiency: Arizona, Duke, Florida, Gonzaga, Houston, Illinois, Iowa, Iowa State, Kentucky, Louisville, Miami, Michigan, Michigan State, North Carolina, Purdue, Tennessee, Texas Tech, UConn, Vanderbilt, and Virginia. You think one of those teams wins the NCAA tournament?
I'm going to guess no.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In 12 of the
emphasis on guess.
Okay. In 12 of the last 13 champions ranked in the top 7 in offensive or defensive efficiency in the KenPom, among the teams that fit that criteria, Arizona, Duke, Florida, Houston, Illinois, Iowa State, Michigan, Purdue, and Vanderbilt. And then one last thing. 19 of the last 22 March Madness champions ranked in the top 6 in overall Ken Palm rankings entering the big dance. Of the 9 teams listed in the paragraph above, Arizona, Duke, Florida, Houston, Iowa State, and Michigan fit that criteria. So it's a science, but at the end of the day, everybody has a favorite team that they want to win. So good luck with your brackets. I hope that wasn't too confusing and too analytical for you. That was pretty deep for 7:15 in the morning. I apologize.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Next.
Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Sorry, Chuck. That was my fault.
That's all right.
All right, guys. My question for you today. I think if we were ranking transfer portal men's basketball players in the history of Texas Tech, so really over the last 5 or 6 years when the transfer portal was a thing, I think we would all put JT Toppin at the top. Would you guys agree?
Sure. Yeah. No question.
Yeah.
Okay. Beyond that, this question really is about Donovan Atwell because he has definitely become one of my favorites in the transfer portal era that the Red Raiders have added for, just a short stint. He's only going to be with Texas Tech for a year. I want to know your top 3 in the transfer portal era, and I want to know if Donovan is in that top 3. Besides JT Toppin, take JT out. He's number 1, hands down. It's completely different. He's in a different category. After that, who are your top 3?
I gotta look at a roster for this. I definitely think that Donovan Atwell has to be in that top 3. There's some recency bias there going, but he's got to be in there. Darion Williams was really, really good for you. He's probably got to be in there. And then how far back are you going, Jamie? Like, do you go back past COVID year? What do you think?
Yeah, and anybody who's come through the transfer portal.
Well, now I got to put my guy in there, Brandon Francis.
You can do whatever you want. I've asked you for your top 3.
Yeah, I'm going to say Tariq Owens is right there too. But I'll go with 2 relatively new guys and then the 1 old guy. So I'll say Brandon Francis, Darion Williams, and Donovan Atwell.
Okay, Jeff.
So we're taking Toppin out, so it's 2, 3, and 4 we're looking for. You have to include Owens on that list for everything he did for that team and his partner in crime that year, Matt Mooney. Is Atwell 4th? Yeah, I think he is. He has been too important this year for your Red Raider basketball team not to be on this list, and done too much not to surpass some others. Now, granted, Brandon Francis, had you won the national championship, was gonna, looking like player of the tournament.
He was gonna be the MOP.
But yeah, I think he's 4th.
Okay. Again, this is my favorite, not necessarily who I think were the best players were.
Sure.
Number 2, so number 1 in this grouping, but number 2 is Atwell for me. I love his game. His quick trigger, his accuracy, His defense, I'm a huge fan. His intensity, signed me up all day for Donovan Atwell. Wish he had been here for 4 years. Number 2 on my list, which is actually number 3, is Bryson Williams. He was terrific. He was fantastic. A great addition to the Red Raiders. And number 3, so my last guy is going to be Tariq Owens. Tariq's game was so much fun to watch, playing above the rim, blocking shots, throwing down alley-oop dunks, and he gets brownie points for sitting in the crowd and wearing out Chris Beard when he came back to town. I mean, he gets extra bonus points because in the history of, like, you hear people talk about it, and you can accuse me of the same thing. You question, do any of these guys care about Texas Tech? Will they ever come back here? Will we ever see them again on campus? Will we see them at a game ever again? Well, we saw Tariq Owens at a game wearing out Chris Beard. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of that. Other guys, I don't know whether we ever see them again and whether they consider themselves Red Raiders. I bet Tariq Owens considers himself a Red Raider. And I would say the same thing about Matt Mooney. Okay, but I hope Donovan Atwell ends up doing the same thing. But, I think Atwell, great. I think Bryson Williams was a terrific player for you. And then, again, give me Tariq. There's just too much of a sour taste in my mouth. Number 1, for how it all went down with Darian Williams and him not playing in games for you where the head coach clearly thought he should have been. And then, him ultimately leaving. I don't know that, again, it's your list, Chuck, and you're allowed to do it. But, man, I don't know that there are many Red Raider fans that think that highly of Darian Williams.
No, I get it. I just looked at it from the standpoint of what he did on the floor when he was on the floor.
Compare that to Bryson Williams. Yeah.
No, I'm doing this on the fly and trying to, but I'm not usually I'm sometimes not very good at going back and remembering players, and then you kind of look at it later and go, well, why'd you say that, Chuck? That was stupid. That may be one of those times.
Bryson was really good. We can't forget about him.
Yeah. And Tariq, obviously I mentioned him, but he was really good. Sometimes, and then Matt Mooney, people have brought his name up as well on the chat line, and Chance McMillan too. He was.
Oh man, that's a good one. Yeah, no doubt.
He was. We have someone here on the chat line says Adonis Arms is my 5th.
Yeah, I liked him too. I thought about him. He just didn't quite make the top of my list.
Yeah, I mean, your point on Darian Williams is that's a good point. I probably should have been a little smarter than that, but that's why we have you, Jamie. That's why we have you.
He's also had this question. How do you come up with answers on the fly?
Well,
I came up with a question in the commercial break.
Yeah, that's an excuse, Jeff.
I'm just saying.
That's like blaming last night on the wind. Okay,
I'm not blaming last night on the wind.
I know, but some people might try to do that, blame it on the wind, but it's not.
You should blame it on the rain. Millie Vanilli had it right.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Double T 97.3 presents the Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression. Committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
Jamie, do you feel energized by the Power Hour?
Of course. Yes. Yes. All of it.
We come to you, Jamie, Jeff, and I, from the First United Bank studio. We'll take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, the Visual Edge IT hotline. It is open for you at 806-771-0973. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line, Jamie. Dear Chuck, you remind me of the fellow that quoted this: the secret of managing a club is to keep the 5 guys that hate you away from the 5 guys who are undecided. Okay. This Chuck, are you ready to reunite with Kim Mulkey? You know, the last time I saw her, which was
reunited,
was in 20. It's like this right before we played Mississippi State in the Liberty Bowl. So that's been a couple of years. 2022 maybe. December 22. She was very happy to see me. I mean, it was almost like we were long lost friends. Every time I ran into her in the hotel, she was chatty Cathy. So who knows? Who knows?
I would love her version of that story.
Well, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, it's like we're playing in Palm Beach, Florida. We're playing in a classic, and Baylor's also there. We're all staying in the same hotel. And, and Coach Mulkey was, it seemed like I kept running into her in the lobby, And we exchanged pleasantries, Jamie. We exchanged pleasantries. I mean, she probably doesn't remember me from the Man on the Moon. Or she might look at me and go, "Oh, there's that Texas Tech guy that I hate," which that's all right. That's all right. It'll be.
Chuck, I've shared this story before.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a Rangers game once.
Yeah.
Somebody there asked me where I was from, and I said I'm from Lubbock. Had never met this person before in my life. And the very next thing out of their mouth was, "Oh, so you must know Chuck Heinz."
You have no idea how much pride he takes in that story, Jeff.
I know. So yes, Kim Mulkey remembers who you are.
Gold right there for Chuck.
But that's, I mean, I will tell you that's. I mean, I run into people all the time. Okay, on the way out of town this past weekend, we're stopping and getting a sandwich, and I ran into a guy from Lubbock that I knew. And even the phenoms, they just kind of shake their head now. And we're in Post on Monday. I'm getting gas, and I ran into a morning drive listener. So, it's just it's good though. It's good, Jamie. I am an ambassador for this station and this company in our fine city. I may not be the perfect ambassador, but I feel like that I should have a title that says ambassador on my business card. Should say Dink, and ambassador. Ambassador Heinz.
I think that's one of those things that's got to be voted on by people. I don't think you can just name yourself.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
One of those kind of deals. Somebody has to approve of you having that title.
Would you approve of that title, ambassador?
I think very highly of you, Chuck. I think there's a lot of things that you do really, really well. I don't know that I would say I want you representing me.
So, like, if I ran for office, you probably wouldn't vote for me.
I probably would.
Okay.
Which office?
Yeah, it depends. Would you put signs up?
If I'd put them up, I'd make sure they all came down after Election Day.
If you're putting signs up, I'm probably not voting for you.
Chuck, I wouldn't let you be dog catcher. No, you would not get my vote there.
I would want to be...
Because he hates dogs.
That's why I would not want him to be the dog catcher.
I just don't care for him, okay? I mean, I just don't care for them all the time.
Like you said, you hate dogs.
I don't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hate is a strong word.
You're allowed to hate dogs, Chuck.
You would fire them into the sun if you could, Chuck. They're on your list.
There's a couple in our neighborhood, about 4 next door that, if I could fire into the sun, I would.
I wouldn't vote you mayor of New Home. That's not how. I wouldn't let that happen either.
I'd probably struggle to win that office, school board, etc. I'd struggle with that. All right. 8:07 this morning here on the morning drive. I love this. I've just seen this morning. So this is NCAA tournament related, and this is Arkansas coach John Calipari. Apparently he was on Mad Dog Sports Radio with Chris Russo, and he expressed his frustration with the SEC playing a tournament championship game on Selection Sunday and then having a quick turnaround. Coach Calipari said this, Coach Cal said this, Jamie. The issue that we have is, do we continue to play on Sundays? Why would you play on Sunday if the two finalists are playing us and Vandy, and all you're going to do is hurt one or whoever wins? They're not moving at all anyway, but if they lose, they're going to flip with the other guy. Either they got to fix that within the committee or we got to play on Saturday. Forget about lead into the NCAA selection show. We got to do what's right for our young people. We're saying that's hard on me, but they're to think about playing. We played 3 games in less than 3 days. We got back at 2 in the morning last night because of the weather. We got to leave at 8 tomorrow to go play this game because they're playing on Thursday at like 1:25 Eastern time. I'm not complaining because we're playing. We're a 4 seed. Let's go. I've had stuff thrown at me before. You know that. And that kind of gets me going. You try to slow my team down by putting the barriers up. Ooh, barriers up. And all right, we're putting our shoulder through that. But this is hard. This is going to be a hard run. Hawaii's good. I'm not worried about anything else but them. I'm watching tape and trying to get focus. But let me ask you, how much can we really practice? We're showing tape. We can't practice. We didn't get in until 2 in the morning. We played 3 games in 2.5 days. We got to play Thursday. We could have played in the evening. Nah, let's make them play at 1. He's right. He's right. He's right. Somebody says this. Dear Chuck, you need customized bumper stickers. I'm not sure what it should say. I don't know. I don't need customized anything. I don't need to do that.
Chuck Heinz, what can I do to help your business?
The rules. He needs customized rules.
My rules of life. I'm going to have that. I think I'll have that on the tombstone. Like you can punch a button. Here, Chuck's rules of life, and I'll just list them off. Have a little speaker there, and then you can go there and have some reflect and get educated.
Who's going to tell you though?
What do you mean, who's going to tell me?
Spit out your rules of life. And now we have to go to break.
No.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.